No matter how many times I say this on this app, everybody is like, what? Really? I'm 21. Everybody thinks that I'm like 27, 26, like older. Maybe it's because I look old. Watch your mouth. We're gonna chalk it up to me being incredibly wise and intelligent and just like a wise old owl. But I have the privilege of being friends with a lot of older women. And I was on a trip this last week with some of these older women, and I cherish friendships with girls that are a few years older than me, just because I feel like they bring me comfort that it gets better, you know what I mean? It's such a thing that your early 20s are the best time of your life. Like I hear it ad nauseum. So many people tell me, oh, you're lucky, like your early 20s are the best time of your life. Like, and I was talking to these older women about it, and I was like, it's such a cliche that like the early 20s are like that period that you're gonna look back on. And oh my god, I hope I black out all of this. This is horrible. This is horrendous. Like, I do not resonate with that idea. I've never really felt 21. I've always, since I was very young, felt quite a bit older than I am, and I'm sure there's lots to say about that in therapy. But I was talking to them about it, and they were like, yeah, my early 20s were a living nightmare. Like, they were quite literally the worst time of my life. You could not pay me $1 million to go back to that time period. It was horrendous. So why is that such a thing? Your early 20s feel like walking on the thinnest ice in stilettos. Like, I am constantly terrified, and everybody is at such a different place. I have friends that are in relationships that I believe are their final relationship. Like, I have friends that are dating people that I'm like, oh, that's the person you're gonna marry for sure, and they're like, yeah. And then I have friends that like wince, like like gag at the idea of monogamy. I have friends that have their entire future planned out detail by detail, and then I have friends that wake up at 2 p.m, smoke a bowl, and just take the day as it comes. I am friends with creatives that have little to no job security but are doing great financially, and they just do that because they love to create and they're really good at it. And then I have friends that are entering like business, corporate jobs, and they're going to be in those jobs for the next 40 years. And I have friends that love to party, that party literally Thursday through Sunday, and I have friends that are sober and don't go out. I feel like your early 20s is like looking at everybody around you and being like, am I supposed to be there? Am I supposed to be there? And am I supposed to be like that person, or am I more supposed to be like that person? You're young enough to where it's like appropriate for people to constantly remind you like you have no idea what you're doing. You're literally this big. You're such a tiny baby. You're so stupid. You have nothing figured out. And then when you're like, maybe I am a tiny baby, I feel like I have nothing figured out. Everybody is like, you're a fucking adult. You pay taxes. Grow up. Figure it out. I cannot say this with enough passion to emphasize how I feel, but like, I cannot wait to be like 25. And all of these women were saying the same thing. Like, all of my friends that are like 27, 28, 29, 30. We're just like, once you hit 25, things get a little smoother. That's 4 years away, ladies. Like, I long to just like speed everything up and just like get married and have kids and be settled, because that's a feeling I think I've been chasing for my whole life, is just like calm and settled. And it's like, oh, well then will I look back and regret not having had an early 20s like crazy period? It's just, being a girl in your early 20s really is the trenches. Like,